unjust. I just don't know who to choose. You can go your way.
Coronavirus.
My own. Say the love of Almighty Jah will lead me on. Yes, you go your way. I will go my own. Say the love of Almighty Jah will keep me strong, so strong. Now the things are oh so clear. I've got to make a move.
Jano.
Can't sit around, no, no. Friends are few who really care. And yes, I'd be a fool.
To God be the glory.
That every action will cause a reaction in my eyes.
How would I try for?
Said reaction can be a blessing in disguise. So I'll go on and I won't compromise. More strength for the wise. You can go your way.
Father God,
go my own.
take the case.
Say the love of the Almighty Jah will lead me on. Yes, you go your way, and I will go my own. The love of the Almighty Jah will keep me strong. Will keep me strong. Strong. Yeah. Come on. For those who will get to reflect in life, open your eyes and see. Hey, don't be blind, no. Remember only the truth can stand the test of time, and everything shall be revealed. Hey, just wait a while. So arm in arms, we're working very hard, yeah. The more I give, it seems the more the man he wants. Yes, he does. I'm gonna push on to do the things I do. Yes, I will. You can go your way, and I will go my own. See the love of the Almighty Jah will lead me on. You can go your way.
Yes, family. Yes, family. I wanna do out there. Yeah. Jah guide and protect you in every single way. You know, as is everything, you know. The way is out there hard to comprehend right now. Hard to comprehend, you know, but give God thanks, you know, give him all the praise and all the honor, you know, for myself being in the studio again with you this evening, and thank him also for him being able to allow you to also do likewise in joining me and lending me your ears as well as your time. I'm hoping obviously that you've had a blessed week and that you've had the strength, you know, to carry on, you know, despite whatever your circumstance may well have been and what you've had to endure, because, you know, joy always comes in the morning, and as long as there's hope, it means that there's still that will to have and to live your life. Yeah, so I can only say my respect goes out to you, and my honor in being in the studio to share with you the blessing that hopefully will enable you to know thyself better, to enable for you to be blessed, and that you can also in turn bless others. Okay? Now, what can I say in regards to the week? The week has been somewhat concerning in several and many ways. Yeah, but the most important thing is I'm here with you today to be able to say give God thanks, give him praise. Yeah. So yeah, we are where we are. Yeah. Today being Sunday, We've completed 7 days in this month. 7 being a very significant time. It's one complete, what do you say, in the terms of a week, it's one revolution, or yeah, one revolution. So we are looking as to the times we're at now and our mindset in order to deal with what is necessary within us, and that is the need for a revolution. Yeah, but anyway, let me deal with the formalities, which is to greet you, my family, hoping all is well with honor, and I do hope all is fine, has been fine, and will be fine also for the morrows. First and foremost, my respect to the ancestors on whose shoulders I do stand, to management and the engineers for making this program possible. That's to bless Radio 1 to afford us and myself this blessing to know myself, for you to know thyself, and more so for the benefit of our community to better know thyself and hopefully to empower yourselves in this time to a better and more meaningful understanding as to our circumstances in this pandemic. Okay, my respect goes out to the kings and the queens out there active in the fight for justice, because as we say, where there's no justice there is no peace. Now, it's been a relative busy week for myself, both in protests, not necessarily all over, because the system say you must tanner your yard. So I'm not always out there. I do take some time out to plan and to consolidate all the meds and to look as to where we are, where I myself am at, because not everything good for eat, them say good for talk, so you've got to be able to take on board certain things and to a certain extent decipher, break it down before you then present it, because there's a lot of, what do you say, fake news out there, particularly that we are somewhat trapped indoors in rehab. So we're getting a lot of information via the television or the tool smartphone. You understand? So it's a case whether you are allowing this phone to outsmart you or you're on top of it and are able to utilize it then as a tool. Okay? Now, again, I say salute to the generals out there on the front line, taking their stand, not kneeling or bowing in this time, because we do need to take a stand, even though again that is somewhat questionable, particularly when you reflect on yesterday. We had a good turnout, but as you hear, I hesitate was to say we had a good liquor turnout, because it could have been more phenomenal. But as it goes, they say many are called, few are chosen. So my respect goes out especially to those chosen few, because clearly you're connected with your spirituality and you know the sacrifice that had been made, to enable you to stand proud with your ancestors, because enough people talk and don't act, and action speaks louder than words. Respect again to the Joy Gardner family for their enduring strength, and to those who give their support to their cause. And I must give special salute, particularly at this time, to the big man himself, Mr. Classford Sterling, for his sterling effort in making this thing a reality, in support of the family in this time. It doesn't neglect from the matrix or my brother Berkeley. I still have not seen you since the year I started, my brother, but I do wish you strength. My brother Stafford, my salute, because even today I was hearing that I think it's the Met or the police or whoever it is, they've decided to take 1,000 young people off that matrix, that gang matrix that you had spoken on some 3-4, I mean, I don't know how long, but if I check it out, it's going to make you like a prophet star. Yeah, but nonetheless, manners and respect, my salute goes out to you. Yeah, so you said what was hidden from the wise is revealed to babes and suckling. So I thank you for that revelation, and that's the reason why, I know that the matrix, that you own that. And even though they tell live vision, obviously they didn't call upon you. Yeah, because obviously, as you would say sometimes, you can't take for them, what is it, bullshit. Yeah, but my brother, I thank you for always keeping it real. So I saw the thing set, and I say it must be. Okay? Yeah, manners and respect also goes out to the Windrush generation, now causing this government an headache. Yeah, respect to my sister Jacqueline Mackenzie. You gave me a bit of a, not necessarily a ear bashing the other day in relation to the event which took place yesterday, but it's understandable. I can't. I don't even think I really made a comment as such, because I mean, obviously the platform is there for a specific purpose. Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, it is a case that sacrifices had been made previously, and we can't sit or stand on our laurels, as they say, and be comfortable and wait for people to give us consent and permission for us to take a stand and protest. You understand? Because if we all take that stand, then the revolution come to an halt. Yeah. So I do understand. Some of us at times when we get into certain position, we give too much consideration, and that prevents us from acting. We're there deliberating, living in hope that the system is gonna give. Yeah. But as you see, it's been very frustrating. Yeah. And even now, yeah, they make the promise, but historically we know common sense tell we a promise is a comfort for a fool. You understand? So that then becomes a bad reflection on our intellect. Yeah, when we try and we use our intellect, and our intellect then try turn on and fool we. Yeah, and then make we sometimes feel like we are idiot. You understand? Because we take them to their words, and we know so their words not to be respected. Okay? So yeah, anyway, we were at the Windrush Square yesterday, but I will expand on that a little bit more. Yeah, but nonetheless, my respect goes out to that generation, and to the family who have lost loved ones and may well not see the compensation to which they've been rightly due. Not that there is any compensation. Yeah, so that's why it is so important that we have representatives who are of high standing, yeah, to stand on us or stand by us in principle. Yeah, because what they've done presently is that they've got us in a situation where we're believing, yeah, that what they're saying is true, because we know that there is something out there. And we don't know there is something out there because Bob done tell me there is a natural mystic blowing in the air. Yeah, and being with my brother yesterday, Ras Chubby, we have to give thanks to COVID right now. Yeah, the fact of the matter is who fi dead, half it dead. Yeah, we now hurry up the thing. Yeah, but when you consider and you look at it, think about the amount of money, yeah, the system will save insofar as pension. Yeah, at a time when you can see they're not generating or they're not regenerating. Yeah, so the more people or the more elderly them can kill off, or the more money they will keep in the bank. Yeah, so we have to really and truly look upon that. Yeah, and then they are in turn benefiting because they are the shareholders in these medicinal companies. Yeah, who are gonna be feeding you these drugs for the next 20 years, because the cure is only is only short term. Yeah, and them have another trait, them plan pan. You understand? So them having a trap. You understand? So like me not going at it. Yeah, me put my trust in the hands of the Almighty. Yeah, because I am gifted and blessed as a melanated one. You understand? He gave me the means, the immune system, in order to fight. Yeah, to fight whatever force. And again, we see it demonstrated yesterday when the virus them did come. Yeah, because we was at that Windrush square, square yesterday, and the virus them come and surround our brethren. Yeah, just come in like the thing, you know. Just surround him and then take him away. Yeah, you know. So more strength, my brother. Yeah. So whatever lesson ought to have been learnt and was learnt, yeah, I wish you Godspeed in your understanding, in your awakening, and in our forwarding. Yeah, and manners and respect goes to the NXG family. Yeah, blessed to have met upon with yourselves. Yeah, and I look forward to further workings. Yeah, as we embark on the journey in this revolution. Yeah. So again, still I must say respect to our brother Omawali Rupo Enro and his desire for the Okombozi drum beat. And also obviously with our ambition insofar as attaining 1,000 drums as a collective. Okay? So as you know, and the people out there now, me as a person, me no want nobody put me in a no pigeonhole because I am not a pigeon. I was born free. Yeah, so as we celebrate our ancestors, and I do know as to where I'm coming from as a Maroon, then say, you know, from the parish of St. Amos, which then is Nanny country. You understand? So, you know, me no have no time to consider certain things because there's a certain spirit in me that just move me like a magnet. Yeah, and in so saying, it's done in spirit and in truth. Yeah, so I must pay my respect, yeah, to wifey and the rest of my family, daughter, grandchildren, both over Essex and up there in Stevenage. Yeah, my grandson, I haven't seen him for a little while, but other than on the what you call it, the WhatsApp or the YouTube, you know. So, well, it not easy at this time. It not easy at this time. But anyway, let me just play on a one tune, and then I'm gonna come back on the other side. Yeah. Alright, let me just play on the track 7. Let's see what 7 I said this night. Yeah. So bless up.
There's a natural mystic flowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will hear.
You hear that?
This could be the first trumpet. This will be the last. Many more will have to suffer. Many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. Things are not the way they used to be. I won't tell no lie. One and all got to face reality now.
For real?
Though I try to find the answer to all the questions they ask, though I know it's impossible to go living through the past. Don't tell no lie.
A pure lies them a tell way. You understand? The politicians them now have no answers. Yeah, them a just try lead we astray And then we now who are giving consent and conforming and lock ourselves away. Yeah, I lock ourselves away in our own house. Yeah, and then we are afraid to come out because what? There's a natural mystic blowing in the air. You understand? In a sense, it's called the flu because it's seasonal. It goes around and it comes around. Yeah. Only thing is they realize that it's a vehicle that they can conveniently use to introduce something new that will cause certain fear. Yeah, but they're not giving us any comparison with the flu and the impact the virus supposedly supposed to have on top of the flu. Yeah, so you're not having a chart as to distinguish between the flu and the new flu. Yeah, so if you're an idiot, you know them say one flew over the cuckoo nest. Yeah, so them have no cuckoo right now. Let them go on.
There's an natural mystic blowing through the air. Such a natural mystic blowing through the air. Such a natural mystic blowing through the air. Such a natural mystic.
Yes, family, it's just a natural mystic, you know, and me I go just add to it, you know, the mystic. Okay, yeah, so for today, you know, as time is passing and running, yeah, for this portion, this afternoon or this night, this evening, my guest tonight is going to be none other than Mr. Andrew Boateng. And when he come, obviously, again, you should have an idea. Mr. Boateng is the one that his son was apprehended by the police some time back. And he's basically got the police over the barrel at the moment. And we're looking as to how we can use the situation in order for the betterment of our young people. Yeah, but again, as was demonstrated by this gang matrix, that the police themselves is like them continue to think we are none the wiser. Yeah, but I know it's really ignorance on their part. They don't seem to want to listen. Yeah, but at this present time, myself, I'm saying I'm fed up in all aspects. I'm saying enough is enough. And as a matter of fact, I'll take it to the extreme and I say to us. Yeah, and when I say that, I mean it in more a meaningful way. I'm saying what our young people need is real, active, structured, supported solutions. We don't need for them to be categorized, pigeonholed, castrated. Yeah, we want for them to be given adequate support so they can realize their full potential. Yeah, because they are our future. Okay, so that will be Mr. Boateng coming in, and I look forward to that reasoning discussion, and hopefully you will contribute to the program later on. So if you are mindful to take this number, the number for the studio is 079 444 31366. And again, I've already tested the phone, so my understanding is the phone will be working. Yeah, so as my good brother Dougie would say, we're aiming or hoping that you will find your voice and contribute to this evening if at all possible. But whether you want to or not, you know, we're here in order to deliver on. Yeah. Now, insofar as my own personal family business, this goes out to my family home and abroad. And when I say home, I'm talking about here in a Babylon, and home there in Jamaica, as well as a foreign. Yeah. Now, the sad news, obviously, that I have to share with you, my family, is that I myself, and the family, we've lost the matriarch of our family, my uncle Clifford. Some of us know him fondly as Uncle Arpwood, otherwise known, his slave name, Mr. Clifford Lewin. And my uncle is the most, I would say, accomplished within my family on my mother's side. Before I even left Jamaica was to come to England, my uncle was in the bees rearing or the honey business, and he took it to a level where I think he built up a reputation whereby he was probably, his honey was the most authentic and reputed honey on the island. And I know that the St. Thomas region, they set about making use of his skills and his knowledge to establish the honey production in St. Thomas, and if not over the whole island. I myself have had the pleasure to have been around him on my visits with my camera, and I truly am going to be treasuring those times spent with him, and the knowledge to which he has impacted upon me, and also the way and the manner to which he conducted himself within the community. Was very much a giver, a person that you could sit down and reason with, and as a young man he will always help you. So the loss isn't just with myself and the immediate family. I know that my community down there in Mount Sinai, they really are kind of holding them head now as to who at times them would turn to is no longer there. But the respect and what you say, the support will always remain, because as is in spirit, so will it be in truth. So my uncle, I salute you. And again, the reason why I can never and will never is I actually had two uncles by the name of Clifford. One who was a spiritualist. He was serious, like, I don't even know what to describe my uncle on my dad's side. Yeah. He was a person you just don't ramp with. You understand? Some people say he was a scientist, or what you call him, man, Obia man or whatever. But such is the man that grew me. You understand? And then on the other side now you have my uncle who was the charmer. You know what I'm saying? So him sweet like honey. Yeah, and he had the means. He's always had his business. And we basically we originally were in Landui, and then he moved down to Mount Sinai. And I remember Osborne, Staffel, Bev, Patsy, and I can't remember the other, but yeah, it was really a pleasure to being around, you know what I'm saying? So that's just me harping on a little bit, family, you know what I'm saying? But my uncle really and truly, him never normal, him never normal. So more love, more strength to a family. Bev, I was honored again to have met yourself. Last time I was down there. You see, and yeah, I can only just say more strength, but at least my uncle have him foot up now. He's done his work. He's laid his foundation. And again, I must salute, because he didn't go on his own. You was there. The family was there for him. You know what I'm saying? So, Mom, who is here, I know it's going to be painful, because I know you won't be able to travel back and also to come back. But I think, in also saying that, I think you've made up your mind that you're going to really stay this time up yourself. Because only you one left now. So it's like all the seeds fall off a tree, only one leave. Yeah, so yourself being the last one now is obviously everybody now ripe up and drop off a tree, and you one leave. So the whole of we have we hype on you. Yeah, so just hold it down and take care until such time. Yeah, so anyway, family, that's just my family, so no watch nothing. Yeah, I'd already paid my respect to the General Stafford. Yeah, in regards to the Met having removed 1,000 of their gang matrix. Yeah. Insofar as the Windrush Square, again, I'd mentioned the fact that many are called, few are chosen, and I pay my respect to those chosen few who had come out yesterday. And I mentioned one arrest, but in fact, yesterday 2 of the family was arrested. But being arrested, again, I must remind you, is nothing compared to our ancestors, some of which were drawn and quartered, as was the case previously through the suffering and the slavery, and that has now transcended. So now we are now mentally enslaved and comfortable and don't want to take a stand in order to make right what we clearly know is wrong, even though there are some of us who don't believe it is the case that what foolishness they're carrying on is wrong. You understand? So I'm asking you, basically, is it that we have lost that fighting spirit, and we don't have the balls now to stand up for our God-given rights, Are we so comfortable that we have forgotten the fight our ancestors made to enable us to enjoy life today? Where is it that we are going? Where are we stand? What do we stand for? So I ask the question again out there to you listeners. What say you? Are you of the opinion that I am being irresponsible in my action yesterday? If you hold that opinion, then phone the number, because I'm give it to you already. So you can phone it. So my question to you is what make you think the government care for you and your loved ones when they keep us apart, not investing in the necessary equipment to enable us to do so? That's to be able to embrace. Now, we did a few embracing yesterday. Now, again, we can breathe underwater in an outer space safely, but not on earth where we live. That's the impression that they're giving us. And then on the political side, who is it that who do they serve politically? Because everybody presently are in one. There's no, there's no disagreement. Everybody is just on this injection thing. And my interpretation, anything to do with religion is devil. Is devil, and it will affect some form of change. So from injection to religion, the two of them sound like the same thing. And the only way to counteract that is for us to have a revolution, not just physically but mentally, because as Bob said, we need to break that mold. And the other thing on the politics, I have to make it known to you today that I have declared my intention to run for council again. Now I was with Pierre Corbyn, I think yesterday, and again he since phoned me this evening. He wants for me really to kind of join in his camp. But at the present, I'm not comfortable with the way things are presently in my community in Enfield. So I'm going to put myself back out there, because there's a by-election taking place. Up there in Enfield North. I made a post today. Because it seemed like people just are so. Nobody not involve themselves. And then when it comes for them to go election and just run and then just put an X, it's like more time them not even look where them put the X, and just look to see if it's a Labour, Conservative, or them not choose. Who them a choose? Them just put them X and then expect the people them to represent them. You need to look to empower on yourself or to empower on a picnic. But now if you understand how this politics work, so me now who's supposed to kick back now and relax himself, now me have to go stress myself, I have to go anger all kind of paperwork and all them things. Even though them not really give you paper nowadays, them have to go give you computer. I never even really want to go down on that thing. But anyway, like me say, Me I go put myself forward. Yeah, so me I go sacrifice myself for a period of time. It's a by-election, so it only have a year for run. Yeah, so me nah me nah diss on down in Edmonton, because at the end of the year, my intention is to hand it over to somebody local up there and come back in Edmonton. Yeah, because since Julio death in 2019, yeah, I've got a lot of work to do in Edmonton. Yeah, and is to correct a number of things. So, yeah, so I'm hoping a number of you have become member of whatever party you want to say on head is at. Yeah, and after that, and at the end of the day, if them not select me, yeah, and the option is there to run as an independent. Yeah, and when I say as an independent, we've got the take the initiative party out there, and they basically are saying enough is enough. You understand? So there are options available to us, yeah, as a community, and I need for you all to look to exercise those options in these times, because we're in serious time. This government, irrespectful of the party, them not seem to be serving our needs. They're in the pocket of multinational companies. It's always been the case, but this last lot, them seem to be even worse. Yeah? A number of them say them are shield, but them still a take the money. And then I tell you, say, no, you can't go out for work. And then the disappointing thing, I think, last week, or may even be the week before, yeah? The whole of them, yeah, I come out and I tell you, say, we must take the injection. Yeah? And they're not necessarily giving us the valid reasons as to. Yeah, because at the end of the day, even the doctors, they might tell you, say, this thing, it can last for 3 months, 6 months at best. Yeah? And then you have to go back again. Yeah? Now, I know, say, yeah, if I have something, yeah, and the body deal with it, anyway, come back again, the body are going to deal with it again. You understand? But if you go put drugs in your system now, if you go confuse your body, yeah, that means you're going to develop a dependency on medication. And the reason again why you see the body can't deal with this thing is because you become so accustomed, yeah, to put these foreign bodies in your system. That is like your body has said, boy, I don't want nothing to do with it. You understand? Because it's like not normal. Yeah, everything on the want jump on something artificial, and then the government now, when they introduce this genetically modified food, and we are tell them, say, now go agree with system, what them do? Yeah, them go on, so that they don't even talk about it now. Yeah, but if you ask them to do an investigation as to what impact that has had on our own system, yeah, for us to be in the predicament that we are at presently, them now gonna give you no straight answer. Them are gonna go on like a pure idiot. Them have to deal with. You understand? So common sense need to kick in, the same way we need to look at common law insofar as the law and what it stands for. Yeah. Now, if I can kind of briefly go back to this incident that transpired over Winross Square. Now, we were over Winross Square, and I must say that we had a splendid time up to a time. I think it was about 2.5 hours. I've also posted a video courtesy of Street Mike, and I must say, respect, big up Street Mike, yeah, for having come out yesterday, because I know, my brother, you never had us to. So I'm thankful to the fact that you took my word and was able to be there, and we greatly appreciate that you was able to capture the moment, because it was done in a structured way, both from beginning to end. Even though I was a little bit concerned was when my name was somewhat mentioned, yeah, because it kind of implied that I myself had invited Pierce Corbin. Yeah, but let me give you this assurance, my family out there, I did not invite Piers. You understand? I did not invite peers, and the reason why I didn't invite peers is because the last time, or maybe the second time we did buck up, which was down at Peckham, what I learned from that time, you see, as soon as him did leave, at that time the police them did move in. You understand? So me observe and watch these things. You see me? Yeah. So when I saw them things there, yeah, I have to watch the action of the police because it's the same way. He's on their radar. You understand? Because he's cutting against the grain right now. Yeah, he's saying things that they don't want to hear because everybody's supposed to conform. Yeah, the same way like me I tell you say now I'm going to be contesting this by-election. Them I go want to know say I'm not doing anything untowards that's going to bring the party, as them say, into disrepute. You understand? And that's after them themselves don't stop Jeremy Corbyn in I'm back, you know. Them going to talk about what me now I go do. Yeah? In which case, if them they just run with the man, yeah, they would have been in power. But two them no want somebody who is close to the grassroots, who have common sense, who know in the pocket of big business and all them institutions. Them sacrifice him. Yeah, because me I tell you the truth, how me feel right now, if Corbyn did it in it right now, we wouldn't be going through this pandemic because the plan would have gone wrong already. Yeah, so now if we just open up an eye, yeah, and just see the things as to how the things set. Yeah, now for whatever reason, as me said enough times, me and so, yeah, Bernie inspired me to be in this seat, likewise, Brother Doug here, and even my sister John Edwards, and I said must respect to the family as me mention them name. You understand? Me go in a camp, even with UKIP, yeah, and me see and know and tease them out. You understand? So me go in there and me see what I go on, and me still in there and me see what I go on. So me not sell my soul and join no lodge and inveigle myself with them more than me have to. Yeah, right now I'm a living sacrifice, and me come to realize that no found is like I'm afraid for dead. You understand? But death is a thing that is certain. Yeah, from the moment you're born for dead. Yeah, so let me just read a little thing from the words of the good book. Yeah, and what the good book said to us today is life is short, but we can live and act in a way that our achievement leave us a good name forever. Yeah, so like I hear me mention my uncle Apti, my uncle, him name will always live. Yeah, him spirit will always live. Yeah, because it was like the bedrock in our community. Yeah, if me miss him, well, everybody just are gonna miss him, and you know my community are gonna miss him even more than the family. Yeah, and the other side, the flip side of the book today is one who lives good and is fair in their ways will always be led to right decisions by their conscience. Yeah, so the exercise there, my family, was to tease your conscience. Yeah, and hopefully it will give you a reflection. Yeah, but where our responsibility lies is that we must lay a foundation for the generation to come. Yeah, so as I'm saying, yeah, young blood, next week I think even I was aiming to get Miss Johnson, Miss Tasha Johnson, into the studio because I'm mindful as to her standing within the taking the initiative party is. Yeah, so I want young blood to be the one to give you the motivation, young people. Yeah, because I'm following up on the anthem that I've seen out there amongst you all. Yeah, we need a revolution, and it's you all who is gonna instigate it. You understand? Because a number of youths have not voted and not been voted. That was in part one of the reasons why I believe by joining UKIP, if I could have get the whole hour for vote, yeah, then it would have mean that I would have been over the fence on the other side to be able to pull on in. Yeah, so I see the person possibly to lead that right now is Miss Tasha Johnson. Yeah, so I'm anxiously looking forward to bringing her now into the studio, yeah, because there are elections taking place. The local elections, local council elections, they won't be taking place until next year. Yeah, but there's some by-elections now that would be taking place. Yeah, so the same way as the brother had created this anthem, I want for you guys to run with this anthem. Yeah, and this anthem is saying enough is enough. I've secured the brand. I've given it a political angle also. So it means the same way like Pierce Corbyn is after it. Yeah, I would rather that it's in your hands. Possibly with take the initiative. Yeah, so that's yet to be negotiated. Yeah, but I'm happy and confident that would create a storm out there politically. Okay, now insofar as again back to the Windrush, yeah, manners and respect to all the drummers, all the participants who turned out, yeah, and within what the context of what had happened, yeah, the lessons which we need to learn. Obviously, I can't divulge over the airwaves, yeah, but we need to move in a manner which no doubt is stealth, yeah, but we need to also learn lessons, yeah, from yesterday, yeah. The thing, and I'll say it, I'm not afraid to say it, yeah. The chanting, as we were saying last week when I had Chubby inside the studio, a chant we're supposed to be chanting. Yeah, me I tell you the truth. If you don't want to sing on an anthem, yeah, you don't just do it a one thing. Me don't need nobody if you teach me them sort of things when me out there, so. You understand? I'm on a meditation. Yeah, me not depend on no lesson. Yeah, I want to just close my eye and form a relationship with the drums, and I was getting there. Yeah, I started playing the drums, and then I get to a point where the drums start playing me. You understand? And I didn't need the disruptions, yeah, to break my spirit. Yeah, so me telling you it's plain and simple. Yeah, I often mention the ambition of the Akombozi. Right now, thousand is pulling down a hand's nest on herself. Yeah, I better wanna just stick to 100. Yeah, just stick to the full 100. Leave the 1,000 for when we come together as a collective. You understand? I just saw the thing set. Yeah, so nobody come invoke certain kind of things and I try to take over the sitting. You understand? Because me tell you something, I don't have no time for certain things. Yeah, me will just take on myself, and I know you bring me in that thing, our spirits bring me in that thing. Yeah? So sorry if you have to go to the extent and say all of them things, but it's not to say me no business. No business enough. You understand? But me not no time for waste because time's too serious. Yeah? Times are really and truly too serious now, and some people are saying me need to smile more and things like that. But right now, I just war star. Yeah, not kind of calm mix up the thing. I just war right now. Yeah? So family, let me just take a break here.
I'm living, thanks I'll be giving. The most high, I'm a living while I'm living to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day. Only I can the price I'm a leg we have to pay. While our leaders play, all I see people are rip and a rob, all are brand new. Thieves never love is a thief with long bag. No love for the people who are suffering bad. Another toll to the poor, may God help us all. What is to stop the youth from get out of control? Full of my education, yet no own a payroll. The clothes on me back of countless I own. Could go on and on, the the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through. Every day with only hiking the price. I'm a leg we have to pay while our leaders play. We say who can afford to run will run, but what about those who can't? They will have to stay. Opportunity a scarce commodity. In this time I say, when mama spend her last and send you go class, never you ever play. It's a competitive world for low budget people, spending the time while earning a nickel, with no regard to who it may tickle. My cup is full to the brim. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. To this life we get to go on and on, that is enough. Someday, somehow, on and on. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through. Every day with only I in the price. I'm a leg we have to pay while our leaders play. All I see, people are rip and a rob, all are grime. Thief never love is the thief with long back. No love for the people who are suffer real bad. Another told to the poor, may God help his soul. What is to stop the youths and get out of control? Full up of education, yet no own a payroll. The clothes by your back have countless I own. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living, to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through. Every day, only I can the price. I'm a leg we have to pay while our leaders play. We say who can afford to run will run, but what about those who can't? They will have to stay. Opportunity a scarce commodity. In this time I say, when mama spend her last and send you go class, never you ever play. It's a competitive world for low budget people, spending the time while earning a nickel, with no regard for who it may tickle. My cup is full to the brim. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told.
Yes, family, we could go on and on, but whilst the truth has been told, we have to act. You know, we have to take action now, because there's not going to be a better time. You know, this coronavirus is an opportunity that we need to take good chance and opportunity. Yeah, so that the youngers now can see that, you know, we're serious in supporting them. Yeah, so politically, young soldiers, warriors, we have to say manners, respect, and be guided. Yeah, I'm going to play another tune, and then I really have to truly find out what is happening with my brethren. And then if needs be, then I've got to open up on certain subject matter, some things which obviously I've overlooked in the past couple of weeks. You understand? But for now, yeah, I'm just come in, I think, with another buju and just ease on. Yeah? Bless.
Ye enemies of Jah, and know that the Lord God Jah the Almighty shall rule the earth of his enemies. Jah, Rastafari, and Selassie the first. Oh, let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him will flee before him. As smoke is driven away, drive away. as wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. But let the righteous be glad, let them rejoice before God, yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth on the heavens by his name. Jah, Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first, the Father, strength and Redeemer, who lives and rules and reigns over all living things. A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God set up the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, for the rebellious dwell in dry land. O God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie, Father, strength and Redeemer, when thou wentest forth before thy people, when thou did march through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Shinar itself was moved at the presence of God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie first, the God of Israel. Though, O God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, did send a plentiful rain, whereby thou did confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. Thy congregation hath dwelt therein. Though, O God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, has prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, scattered kings in it, it was white as snow in Salmon. The hill of God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, is as the hill of Bashan, and high hill as the hill of Bashan. Why leap ye high hills? This is the hill which God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie first desireth to dwell in. Yea, the Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, will dwell in it forever. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, is among them, as in Shinar, in the holy place. Thou hast ascended on high, thou hast led captivity captive, thou hast received gifts from man, yea, for the rebellious also. But the Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, might dwell among them. Blessed be the Almighty God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, who daily leadeth us with benefits, even the God of our salvation, Selah. He that is our God is the God of salvation, and unto God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, Lord, belongeth the issues from death. The Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, shall rule the head of his enemies, and the hair scalp of such an one as goeth on still in his trespasses.
Yes, my family. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm anxiously awaiting a call, but it doesn't appear to be happening. Okay, so let me take you to something that not necessarily relating to the Lumic currency, but there was a post of interest that came through today, which in a sense as a reflection as to the things that we need to do, insofar as Africans, in the time to which we are presently in, and to a certain extent I agree. I don't know as to whether you yourselves are in agreement, but it's something that I think is that we should nonetheless consider, and those who are in the know, who make this their profession, they may well be able to elaborate and to make us wiser as to the situations. But what is clear is that we as African, we need to set our own system of governance. Now, I'm saying that, albeit difficult to do in a foreign land, but we are here, and had it not been for racism, discrimination, then quite literally we would play our part. We are playing our part, but it's not being acknowledged, and we're not empowered to the extent where we can really effect the changes which are necessary. Now, these things can be achieved firstly by believing in our own ancestral cultural belief systems, which again, we've set aside because we're following Western ways and practices. Secondly, we also need to set up our own structural economic development system by uniting the African GDP. Now, I'm no mathematician nor an economics, but I do believe that we have people who are adept at those things. We need to sort out our own infrastructure related problems and economic problems for ourselves and not fall into corruptions. And as a country, a continent, we need to nationalize all our reserve, all their reserve banks, which must all print one currency, which I think would have indicated around the Lumi. Now, I've got an appointment for next week, which I'm having to travel to Birmingham. So I'm hoping that I will get somebody that's going to be able to expand on that. Because in all situations, I'm not going to be the expert. I'm not going to be the expert now, but I'm not going to pretend to be the expert. Right, just excuse me for one moment.
We are going, and we know where we're from. So to hell with you.
There was good and evil. We chose good. Why waste the time of the Most High, ye sons of men? The rich man's wealth is in the city. Destruction of the poor is his poverty. Lord, destruction of your soul is vanity. Do you hear? I wanna rule my destiny. I wanna rule my destiny. Destiny, mama look from when you call me. Destiny, mama look from when you call it. I wanna rule my destiny. Oh, help I please. Jah, I wanna rule my destiny. Oh, Lord, I've been blessed, I've been touched. I love Jah so much, they keep fighting me. I'm not giving up. When realms of Zion fill my spiritual cup. Wisdom overstanding must never be too much. Give I protection day and night from even the pestilence that walk at a daylight. Destiny, mama look from when you calling. Destiny, mama look from when you calling. I wanna rule my destiny. Oh, help I please. Jah, let me rule my destiny. Whoa. Cast away their cosmos, Lord. You have them in the region, in the valley of decision, restraining the Edens with a rod of iron. You know not the destiny of a next man, why hold him? Set him free for too long. I wanna rule my destiny. Oh yeah, I really wanna rule my destiny. Hear me call. Destiny, mama look from when you calling. Destiny, mama look from when you calling. I wanna rule my destiny. Oh. has become the norm. I know I must get through, no matter what I want. Destiny, mama look from when you calling. Destiny, mama look from when you calling. When you rule my destiny, Lord, and I tell you once more, the rich man's wealth is in the city. Oh, destruction of the poor is our poverty. Yeah, destruction of the soul is vanity. Oh, you will. Whoa, destiny, destiny.
Yes, family, I wanna do me there, but I've been saved by the bell. Yeah, the man himself is here with me in the studio. You know, so I have to thank you, my brother, for having rescued me. Yeah, because even I was saying to myself, enough is enough, guy. Yeah, you chat too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, as I'm saying to you, my family, when they don't want exercising the rights, but giving her the number, and it's like when they don't even want to talk to me, or I'm afraid for talk, or is it a case that there ain't nobody out there listening? You know, it's like sometimes I'm frightened that I'm in here talking to my ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Because me now call them duppy, you know, because me not want them for box me. Yeah, me not want them for box me. Yeah. So it is a case that my brother is being kind enough to take some time away from family, yeah, but fortunate for me is just around the corner then say, yeah, to give us some time, to give us an update. You know, so whereas you see I was touching on the fact that we as African, we need to start look as to our own independence in so far as taking hold in order to deal with our own destiny. Yeah, that you see my brother came in aptly on time was to rescue the situation, to enable me to just take that break downstairs and come back. Yeah, so nonetheless, my brother is in the studio, and the good thing about him being in the studio is, as I'd mentioned earlier, that the government, I think it was announced, if not yesterday, again today, that for whatever reason, the police, they've taken off 1,000 young people off this gang matrix. Yeah, and again, I've been here bigging up one of our local generals, Stafford Scott, yeah, for having brought that to our attention. And I remember years back, he actually called a meeting, you know, and to a certain extent, it was a bit overwhelming, the data, because it was more factual. It was presenting data's charts, you know, and it's like when you look upon it, it's like you're seeing an inside job, you know, because the information that he was able to disseminate and put out there at the time, you know, you could see my brother was really working hard. You understand? So when the police them see that, them I wonder to themselves, oh, how them get that? How them get that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I salute you, my brother. I haven't seen you since here. You know, so I hope that all is well. You know, that you're strengthened and you're not put off or overly exhausted, you know, because like, you know, the whole of we are trying to pass the button right now. You understand? So we're desperately calling out to you youngsters. You have to step up, man. You have to step up, because when we started this thing, you know, it's like when Bernie did call we, you know, we did kind of, you know, we're prime, we had energy. Yeah, now we feel the aches and pain, you know, so, yeah, youngsters, we are big now. Yeah, we have to start shape up now, man. Yeah, but anyway, please, I've got Mr. Boateng in the studio. Yeah, so, Andrew, make yourself welcome, and then just give us an update. And then, yeah, my family, well, I'm glad for know some me done talk.
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me in again, Clive. It's been, you know, it's been an honour. Like we're saying, just giving an update on what's happened since we were last about. I'll probably just give you a quick recap on the initial story for those that haven't heard it before, but I'll make it very brief. So back in June, myself and my son were out on a bike ride, a charity bike ride, in conjunction with the Black Police Association, and we were stopped and searched in an aggressive stop and search at Taser Point along the Lee Canal, basically. My son was handcuffed, I was handcuffed, and they brandished a taser against my son, threatened him. He was injured because he ran into some bushes. And to cut a very long story short, the reason that they said that they done this to us was because there was a stabbing in the area, and we fitted the description, which was IC3. So my son was prime suspect, IC3, which is police code for black person. So I did ask them, so are you saying that you would have stopped anyone who fitted that description in the area? Their response was yes. So, which goes to show that they're just looking out for any black person at that time, and they would have been given that treatment. Whereas if the shoe was on the other foot, if we weren't people of colour, it would have been, a different approach, I'm sure, and there would have been no chance to just stop you based on colour. They would have had to have something else like eye colour or, what jacket you're wearing, etc. So moving on from that, we did lodge an official complaint, etc., and it was referred to the IOPC. Update on that is that the investigation is still ongoing. So it's been batted back to, still ongoing.
Still ongoing?
Yeah, it's been batted back to the local inspector. So they're looking into that. And my point on this is that there needs to be a lot more sort of support for victims of aggressive stop and search, because in the meanwhile, people are left to fend for themselves, even though, they're innocent. If you've done nothing wrong, you could be left traumatized, etc., with pretty much no support. I mean, the borough commander and everyone did give me a call, etc., etc., but I mean, like, real support for the kids, because this is happening to them every day, and it's not every day that they're out with their parents on bike rides or doing stuff in the streets with their parents. It's normally sort of just peers and friends who can't offer that support.
Can I just come back there? You said ongoing. Let me be clear. What is still ongoing?
They have to finalise the report. There's a final report that needs to be written, and that will be the outcome of their findings. So what they do is they interrogate everyone that's involved in that. So there was multiple police officers on hand that day.
Yeah,
and
June of last.
This was June, 7 months.
Yeah, so 7 months we've been on lockdown. So they've had relatively nothing to do other than to compile. And the longer you leave things, the harder it is to gather the evidence. Everything needs to be fresh at the time.
Yeah.
So if they're going to be searching evidence can be lost.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a concern.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, well, this is a standard. I'm hearing that, this is all new to me, but standard that it does take this long. So imagine the amount of people that have been going through this, year in, year out, where they don't have an immediate outcome. But if the shoe's on the other foot again, if someone's done a crime, you can guarantee that it'll be investigated, to get them into the courts and into the the penal system very quickly.
Well, that's more reason then for us to make sure we keep your platform on this platform, so it's heightened and it's not. There's no chance of it being forgotten.
Well, I mean, since then I've been sort of invited onto various sort of advisory groups, and one of them is the Haringey Stop and Search, executive board. So we're scrutinising everything to do with stop and search at the moment, from the sort of use of handcuffs, the way they use force, everything. Trying to get more access to sort of body-worn videos, images, all that sort of thing around stop and search. So, I mean, it wasn't my sort of, my expertise initially, but I've kind of been drawn into this sort of field of things.
So do you find within the Haringey Stop and Search setup network, is there a lot of African Caribbean representation in there?
There is actually. Well, I would say, yeah, it's kind of 50-50 really, the
About
makeup of it,
50-50.
yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
So there are...
So
kinds of colour.
how can we support, like say yourself, because you're part of that,
Mm-hmm.
in making sure the information is out there, insofar as their lack in that they're still dragging their feet, because we're talking 7 months down the
Mm-hmm.
road now, and also on top of that, we've come to realize
Mm-hmm.
over this weekend that they withdrew 1,000 from that Matrix gang,
The gang's matrix, yes.
the gang matrix that they've been using to
Mm-hmm.
criminalize and stigmatize our kids. Okay, all right. Well, let's find out now from yourself how we're gonna continue to put that pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how as a community we can support you even more so. Yeah, because we don't, even though we're supposed to be locked up indoors, we can't meet, so we can't raise our voices. And if we do it on Zoom, then we'll tell them all our intentions, all our decisions. Yeah, so they'll be mindful as to where our contentions are before we even get to the room.
Yeah.
And then they'll prepare themselves. Yeah, and then tell us a load of
Exactly.
bullshit to a certain extent by producing some graphs that we're not going to be able to challenge until we then go back and spend another 2 months.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, keep
Yeah.
keep our
Yeah, so we basically the executive group sort of meets quite regularly. Anything that comes up to do with sort of police issues, like this will be a next thing. I'm sure the gang's matrix, it's discussed and then agreed on what the sort of points are to challenge the local sort of borough commanders on. Present that to them, and then they've got to discuss that amongst their sort of management teams and try and get things changed. So that's one avenue that we're going down. There's also been some other initiatives that are going on within the police force, which is the Deputy Commissioner's Advisory Group, and that's sort of led from the MOPAC end, the Mayor's Office for Policing. So Sadiq Khan's kind of pushing. So he's pushed for this gangs matrix to be reviewed, which is why. So that end of things. And now one of the things that he set out is the Mayor's strategic plan. And within that, he's asked for sort of black communities to be treated a lot better. And the way that they're trying to address that, they set up a task force in the police end, is by reviewing sort of, stop and search, reviewing how people are sort of the employability within the police, how black police officers are treated, is there progression for them, what's their recruitment like, all that kind of stuff. And things around stop and search, people get stopped based on the use of, just purely on the smell of cannabis and things like that. Vehicle stops, now they're taking data apparently, so every time a vehicle stopped they have to record the ethnicity of the person as well, to see if is it disproportionate, which we all know it is.
Yeah, well, it always comes up that
but
way.
the question is, what are they going to do about it when they find the figures that we know to be true?
Okay, and also there is a representation insofar as take up of our black police. What's the is that a positive? Is there an improvement insofar as that?
Well, this is the thing. It has been, the numbers have been increasing, but very, very slowly. So I think there's an officer that set up the Black Police Network Strand, I think it's called, and that is Joy okay, and she's due in the studio at some point soon, so she'll be able to tell
Black
you a lot
Police
more.
Network.
The Black Police Network Strand.
Strand.
And so they look at the welfare and sort of well-being of police officers within the force.
So who is it I spoke to the other day? That's a different person.
That was Joy.
That was Joy. Remind me what Joy does.
So she's a police officer, PC, and her thing is she set up the Black Police Network Strand.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
the first. It's the same
It's
person.
the same person, yeah. So,
Okay, okay. Well, we've got a schedule.
so she'll tell you all about that. What she's
Okay,
doing.
okay. That took me by a bit surprised.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think one of the reasons why they want to come in as well, explain all that, is to tell you all the initiatives that they're trying to do from within, and also I think they want to do a recruitment drive as well. I think to try and get more black people in, so that people can kind of police from a black perspective as well.
Well, I'm gonna be happy to speak with them, but part of us meeting here today is to prepare our listeners because in light of the revelation about the gang metric, how they've been using it disproportionately against us. I don't want for the listeners to think that we have sold out,
There's no way,
to
no chance.
Babylon's system. Yeah, what we're intent on doing is to support our what do you say, fellow Africans, then say, who have put themselves in the lion's den, yeah, so that they are able to maneuver themselves with more authority, and also to be able to recruit in order to reinforce them with more younger, yeah, people who they can then support, who then will support them in turn. Because it's like with all democracy, it's all about numbers, yeah. So I'm enticing you, the listeners, to be able, yeah, to be in a position to challenge this young lady, who is Joy, yeah, when we actually bring her into the studio. But one of the things, obviously, I look forward to, because I think I'd shared it some time back, that I put on events like Warblow, all those years back, and I see as to the power of music in dealing with the children's creativity and how they aspire and the length to which they would go in making sacrifices in order for them to go out and have fun which they're presently being denied because they're in lockup. Yeah, they're not able to express themselves, and to be honest, it's really frustrating. And you can imagine their hormones being cooped up as to how that is going, because I mean they're young blood. They're not like myself, who is of that age where we just don't want to run up and down anymore. We're talking about young people who are, to a certain extent, you say, in their primes. You know, when you see, you let go a young horse or a stallion in a field, and you see him just go kick up and reel up and run all over the place. You know, these are the young people that we've got locked up presently in our souls, yeah, without anything to say do. Yeah, so one of the things that we need to be able to do is to work with the police, as I've done previously at these Warblow events, so that they can facilitate, by one, offering the security, and to afford the young people to know of opportunities both within the force and other opportunities within the administration side, yeah, and even the law, the understanding of law, because it all impacts, yeah. So these are the angles to which we're looking to challenge, and to look as to how they can facilitate by telling us these things and how we can best support them. Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to that, and I think when we do that, we will announce that in advance, so it won't be a surprise as I've done previously, as even with today. We rescheduled today because of what was happening yesterday. Yeah, so we kind of sprung this on you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, please.
Yeah. So just to touch a bit more on this whole gang matrix thing, because a lot of people don't really know much about it. This is the first time they're hearing about it. Before the incident happened to me, I wouldn't know from Adam what all this stuff meant. You hear some things banded about on the news, etc., but what does it really mean?
Yeah.
So the gang matrix, yeah, it's basically people that the police feel are linked to gangs, okay, and they pose a threat. So basically, how did it come about? It was set up in 2012. Apparently, remember that big year with the Olympics? Everything was kicking off in 2012. And this was following the riots. Apparently, the London riots. So by 2017, there was more than 3/4 black people on the list. Yeah. Out of 3,806 people, 3/4 of those were black on this gang matrix list in 2017. Apparently, that's 78%. Yeah. When, even though according to the Met, only 27% of those responsible for youth violence are supposed to be black. So the numbers don't add up, do they?
No, definitely. No? And it presents a problem even for the police.
Yeah. So that's the crazy stats. So how does it affect them? Well, obviously victims of crime are also being put on this list, apparently. So they've been put on a list before. So if you were like a victim of crime that might have been related to some kind of gang or something, you could be the victim. But because your association with a crime, you could end up on the list, apparently.
Okay.
Even though you got nothing to do with the actual gangs, etc. If you've been sharing social media, so like, you know, youngsters these days, they like a bit of, you know, grime music, they like, you know, drill music, you might be sharing that, posting on social media, and it's just the means that, you know, back in the day we listened to hip hop, etc. We didn't have, you know, the platforms, but we might be passing around tapes or whatever, you know. You might bring a record round to your friend's house, get on the decks. So it's no different that the way they're posting, you know, the songs, etc. But this, in some circles, some police forces being as like inciting, sort of, you know, and perpetuating sort of gang culture.
But again, even there, by that association, you are in fact creating a gang. That gang. So there might be individuals.
Yeah.
But because of their associations, you've then turned them into a gang.
There you go. So that kind of thing. And this is some of the thinking around it. And then some people have sort of raised concerns also about the way that it's been tackled from the police end. So apparently there's been reports of officers sort of setting up fake accounts and stuff to like befriend people on social media that they might think that are, you know, members, even though they might not be. They may be, but they might not be. So there's grey areas around the law. Can you do that? You know, sort of, you know, groom people without a warrant, etc.
Well, again, that definitely is a no. Yeah. So it's a grey area, and where they see themselves as the authority, that's why they would then encroach on a young person's civil liberties, which then gives them the thinking that they have the right to challenge you because you fall within the description or the criteria that the gang matrix is described. Yeah. So it means that our young people, and again, until that came out, being revealed, it means that whatever our kids tell us as parents, we say they're lying, because how can the authorities, how can the law be so hostile towards you before you've even committed a crime?
Yeah.
They're saying you are a criminal.
100%.
Yeah. So then that puts a wedge between us, then say as parents, and our children, because we find it somewhat odd and unbelievable, yeah, for such a things to be happening in this time.
Exactly.
We've been through it. Yeah. So what lesson has been learned since then?
Like what happened to innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah. You know, that is really disgusting. You know? Yeah, so with all of that, I mean, we're obviously now been given more ammunition to beat them with. Yeah. So is it a case then that we can look to our African representation within the forces to do this for us with our support? Are they championing our cause? Do you have a a police within the force who is able to step up to challenge the officers, their counterpart, in order to see these things are being addressed? Or is it that they have to maintain their duty out on the road? Can the Black Police Association get involved in your case to the extent where they can challenge?
Well, this is what we can find out from Joy when she comes in, etc. These kind of things. What extent do the powers go to?
What is it that they are doing to address the imbalance, given that they are the ones who are being tarnished? Yeah, because we can't differentiate to a certain extent that they are not doing their job according to what stats have been presented to them. You know, because who are they to challenge it? But when they see the evidence we're presented, then they've got to take a step back and say, well, rotted, what go on here?
Yeah, this is it. I mean, they've obviously got their own challenges as well, like in any organisation. But within the police, it's probably even sort of more apparent where, there's not much representation there. There aren't many chances for progression. And we've seen like the Small Axe series with Leroy Logan and all that kind of stuff that goes down. Are you taken seriously there? We've seen that there have been some senior sort of people of colour in the force, but nowhere near as much as there should be, considering the numbers and how many people we are in London.
Yeah, and again, it means that the police, they've been undermined. Yeah, they've been undermined to the extent that the average black youth on the street is going to look on our African officers and say, you guys are sellout. Yeah, because we are aware of this, so aren't you aware of it? Yeah, and you're in the police, so you need to investigate what it is they're asking of you to go out there and do insofar as represent that uniform. Yeah, so it can't be that you join something, an institution, and you just do as they expect you to do. Yeah, because I mean, like in my case, I'm into the politics. I didn't go in there to toe a party line.
Yeah.
I go in there to serve the community.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
have to
they
do your
need to
duty.
be able to go in there to serve the community and not what the Met were perceived to be. That's why it was always better when you had a policeman that came out of his own community. Want him know all of the bad people anyway.
Exactly.
You understand? I mean, he knows all the hiding place. But the only way he can get respect in his own community is if he opposes.
If he challenges the status quo within the organisation.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I got the impression that this is what they're trying to do now. So, ever since, the Black Lives Matters movement, etc., people have started to sort of find their voice now. And they're saying, oh, hold on a sec. Why are we being treated like this? Why are our people being treated like this? And when I spoke to Joy not so long ago on like a group call, the impression that I got is that these are the same things that, we would ask. She's being asked by her own children because she's got teenage kids. So they're out on the street, and they're saying, look, Mum, don't tell don't tell my friends that you're off, all that kind of stuff, and they're getting the stigma passed on to them. So now she's having to sort of see it from the perspective of the children and what they're feeding back. Oh, we were stopped and searched today. My friend was stopped and searched, and then she's having to escalate that up to her superiors
to find out
and
why.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, again, that is one of the good reasons that we represent. Yeah, because once they're aware of this, they can't really just making the assumption that they can just pick on any other youth on the road. Yeah. So by having some of the parents in the force, they know when it comes, and that's making the assumption, but the expectation is you will have some control over your own children before you go out a road and put into practice. So you have to get your own house in order first. Yeah? So it's the same thing. If my child is coming to me to ask questions of me, for me to represent not just he, but his friends also. yeah, then they need to be to a certain extent on point. Yeah, yeah, and that's one of my blessing to a certain extent, having done the fostering
Yes.
and having been in the institution. Yeah, and it's one of the things I share even with the general down on the farm there. It's like we've got eyes in the back of our head because we know so many people.
Yeah.
When things happening out there, it comes to us.
Comes to you quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, and when it comes to us, as long as we don't let them know where the source is, then they'll walk around being paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But then it's because our reputation walks ahead of us.
Yes.
Yeah, and in order to maintain that, yeah, you have to remain on your principle and make sure nobody, yeah,
Nobody tarnishes the principle.
tarnishes that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I always will have salute the generals who have endured.
They've been at it for a long time.
I think for a long time, and we've not sold out. Yeah, we've
Still
not
staying
sold
strong.
out. So yeah, we definitely want to just empower our young people in all aspects of our social well-being. And I touched on earlier that we also need to do so politically. Yeah, I started to engage with a young lady by the name of Miss Sasha Johnson. I think you would have heard of her because I think he was one of the first that made mention of TTIP.
TTIP. Okay. Yeah.
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 So I actually now know it's taking the initiative
Taking the initiative party.
party.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
you see what I'm saying? Because one of the things I'm going to look at, it's diversity. Yeah, because we can't set about doing things the way they have done things. We want it to reflect the community. Yeah, but we don't want what do you call it, career politicians. We want politicians who are gonna care for the community that they serve.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
if
it's
we
about.
can get young people along that lines, they'll be more models for their own peer groups. Yeah, but what I'm excited about, I think I've also shared it with you, our anthem.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enough is enough.
Enough
anthem.
is enough.
Yeah, so it's one of the things that again when we meet up with Joy, we look as to how we can empower around that because that is going to be a good means of recruit.
Yes.
Yeah, so again I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to reasoning with Tasha. Yeah, reasoning with Tasha, and also to see as to where the party is at.
He's heading that.
Yeah, and I like it. The more I think about it, taking the initiative, yeah,
Taking the
is an action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And it's a thing that you would do when you've had enough. You know, when you say enough is enough, you now take the initiative. So
You gotta take
that-
charge.
Yeah, you got to take charge and do something about it. Yeah. So once I spoke with her because she also invited me to a Zoom meeting which I had attended, and I've since been on the computer, so I've been researching it, and yeah, I'm more optimistic now in seeing that it's something that can work, particularly now that I've come to realize that the political parties, you know, it's like they're inept at the moment. They're not really doing anything.
They're starting to look all the same, aren't they? Pretty much. They're
Listen,
talking the same stuff.
I sent them an email declaring my interest in standing in a by-election.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
and basically I'm doing it. It's only going to be for a year because it is a by-election. There's another year before the local elections are called. So because of the situation within Enfield, I don't know if I can say it's the same for Haringey, yeah, but it seems that Enfield is one. It's like one culture is running things. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm challenging, yeah, the status quo up there. Yeah. There's two by-election. One is in Chase and the other one is in Southbury. And basically what I am doing is I'm putting myself up in Southbury with the expectation that it must go to an African or a Caribbean, and it must be a man. Yeah? And I'm saying I am that person. Now that I'm saying that, they're gonna be putting up my own now against me.
Yes.
Yeah? But my question to them is, where have you been all this time?
So it's making a statement.
Yeah,
It's
where have
taking
you
the
been?
initiative.
Yeah, where have you been all this time? Because I was with them,
Mm-hmm.
and when I go in, I mean, I was part of the group, Enfield
Yes.
North. I had to take myself away because it's like they're complacent.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
don't want to do anything. Yeah,
it's
they
quite
don't want to
slow
do
moving.
anything. No, I got so frustrated, I just tackle myself from them. So now I'm going to go back, and I'm sure the game they play, they're going to want to put them up against me. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm saying, you know what? If you don't give me this position, I won't even bother contest. I just go and take the initiative.
Yeah.
Join the Take the Initiative party
Yeah.
because I've had enough.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And I'm not really give them. It's a either or either
Yeah.
situation I'm presenting to them.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And then in turn now, my so-called African colleagues who have not been doing much, I said, listen, I'm only interested in this position for a year, so you've got a year to sort yourself out.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to vacate this position and I'm going to come back into Edmonton.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to come back into Edmonton, so you've got the time now to prepare yourself, not just to just replace me,
Yeah.
but see how you can have 3 or 4 members up there in Enfield North, if you're worth any clout. You see what I'm saying? So I'm
And making
presenting.
real positive changes.
Listen,
That's it.
I ain't got the time to
Yeah.
ramp. I'm not going there to make no friends. Yeah, it's either or either. Otherwise, you might as well say Labour is finished, and I'm going to focus my effort by taking the initiative, by joining the initiative party. Yeah, because I'm saying enough is enough.
When you do that, that's,
When I do that,
that means enough.
and
is
then
enough.
I'm now speaking to the youth. So when I bring Tasha in the studio, I'm saying to the youths out there, Tasha is here to guide you. Yeah, to take the initiative in these places, and obviously being in Enfield, there's others down here in Haringey.
Yeah.
We know where they're vulnerable. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we know everybody's saying enough is enough.
People have been saying it for the whole of the summer and beyond.
Yeah, we know everybody's saying enough is enough. And it's our young people that is going to make the difference because they've got more of a future to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and strategically, you'll notice right now, the government is not injecting them because they don't want to create no uproar.
This is it. We've seen it in other countries
Yeah,
where people
they
have been
don't want to create
uprising.
no uproar. So you youths, man, them out there, young women, young men, yeah, the power is in your hand. Yeah, it is a case that obviously over the course of the next couple of weeks, it might be 3 weeks. I hope it's not too long because I've got a schedule. I think it's remote control next week or so, and then we need to link up with Joy.
Yeah.
And I've got Tasha. Obviously, she needs to get her schedule in for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can embark on that. Yeah, so that we're ready, up and running. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I hope family you're listening out there. So if you've got young children who are in university, particularly those who are doing political, what does it say?
Like international politics or
International politics.
sociology, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
anything along those lines that want to make a future, yeah, in politics. We're going to be affording you a platform with, again, with the help of our sister, Tasha. I'm saying these things like I'm committing her and I haven't even really consulted. I've not consulted with her, yeah, but nonetheless, I've been online, so I've kind of got an insight as to their constitution and their aims and objectives. I've watched, and I know they need help, I need support. I know they have reached out to me before, yeah, but obviously I've been playing the loyalty insofar as the fact that I'm in Labour, I'm so disillusioned and disappointed presently. But I haven't moved yet. But if I'm staying, yeah, it's what do you say? I'm giving ultimatums. Yeah, in order for me to stay, I need to be satisfied that certain things are in place, and then I'm going to be moving strategically, insofar as addressing the imbalance,
Yes.
insofar as the representation. So I think it's the same for every institution. It should reflect the community that it's serving. Yeah, I don't have no way of discriminating against a community, because we need to be a rainbow community, a rainbow country, a rainbow world. You know, that's just my opinion. Yeah, but the concern, as we are here, as a parent to a son who has been manhandled, discriminated against, we don't want that to happen to any of our youths.
You don't need that.
We don't need that, you know, and that's irrespective of whether they're black or white, because a tinted car window don't show the color of the person inside, even though the music might sound like it's yes. Yeah, so we are where we are. Yeah, so impact on us what you need to, because
Yeah.
obviously time is running.
Yeah, let me
so
just
tell
run
us what
through-
you need to do. So if there's
Yeah.
anything that we need to have pen and paper for, or is it something that
Yeah, well, I was just gonna run through the last little bits of stats on the gang matrix.
Okay,
And then
okay.
and tell you what we've been doing recently. The last bits and pieces we've been doing.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just go through very quickly. So these are the most current stats on it. There's currently 3,126 people on the gang
That
matrix.
remains, that
Yeah.
remains.
Well, that was on there as of, I think it was 2019, May 2019. So the mayor's just said, you know,
1,000 has been
1,000 been
removed.
removed. So there should be like 1,000 less, so 2,126 around that figure. And what did they say? That was going to be reviewed at the time, which now it has. I've got an ethnicity breakdown as well. So white European at that time, May 2019, there were 268. Dark European, whatever that means, is that like Albanian, etc., is 93. African Caribbean, now wait for this, 2,505. Asian, 149. Oriental, 3. There's only 3 Oriental gang members in London. And Arabian Egyptian, I don't know how they've categorized that group either. 108. So there you can see the disproportionality quite clearly. The numbers speak for themselves. So if I was a police officer, or if I was anyone
I
in the
know what I'm
community,
looking for.
you just you think, why is that number so high? You know, and this is why it gives whoever's on the other side a kind of a reason to go after people if they're using stats alone and they're saying, oh, these guys are all, you know, on the matrix.
Yeah, well, I think it compromised the duty to be performed by the police officers.
Yeah.
Because if those are the stats that they're guided by, it's like, was it 1 in every? That's even less than 1 in 2, isn't it?
Yep.
On that percentage basis,
Yep.
you know. So yeah, it means you're compelled to target black kids.
This is it. And the other day, I think one of the, I think it might have been the deputy commissioner himself had come out of a statement about, you know, deprived areas definitely being targets for, you know, disproportionate stop and search, simply because black people are more prone to be committing crimes and black on black violence, etc., etc. And I think you made a statement about you wouldn't get sort of violent crime anywhere near as high in areas such as Green Park, etc.
Yeah, well, again, even when we talk about deprivation, deprivation today is not the same as it was 10 years ago. Yeah, everybody now can have 2 or 3 trainers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in truth, when we talk of deprivation, what does that mean? Yeah,
it's
because
slightly
all
deeper.
the
It's different levels
amenities
to it.
are inside the house. They've got the telly, they've got the flat screen, they've got the washing machine, they've got all of these amenities. Yeah. So what is deprivation? It means then you're not able to take the holiday. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deprivation is like a luxury now. Yeah.
Well-
I mean, we know there are places up north where it's not as. Yeah. But I think generally speaking in London, unless you're of a large family, and obviously I need to be careful in what I do say, you know, it's very hard to define deprivation. Yeah. Other than, and again, people eat so much that it's hard to define, knowing where I'm coming from, what deprivation was. You know, having to walk without any soul shoes
different
bottom
levels
until-
to it.
it's a
Different levels. To it.
yeah, it's
Well,
a
now
diff-
they use figures such as unemployment levels and rates, but then again, that comes down to barriers to jobs, etc. If you're on the
Yeah.
list, the register as unemployed, you might have a job that is you might be a builder that takes cash in hand or something like that, and it's not sort of
Yeah.
registered.
I think
know,
in a sense
in a
it's
certain-
reverse. It's not so much deprivation. It's like what do you say? Appreciation and lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's
Yeah.
more lack of opportunities than it is deprivation. You know,
They'll look at your income per household and things like that.
yeah. And
Which is-
to be inspired to be able to attain that other level, which is to have a house. Because I think that is the obvious benchmark is to have your own place, and if at all possible to own it. You know, so yeah, it's hard to define, but again, it's all about our young people being
Yep.
stigmatized, being criminalized, and without them even realizing, you know, the system is out there like a vulture, you know, aiming to grab them and to just fling them,
Yeah.
and for them not to have any resistance.
This is it.
Yeah.
And it's-
And again, we as parents, we clearly need to play our part more fundamentally, and it's the same. I put out a post today because of the by-elections,
Okay.
as well as the elections which are coming up, as to how have we empowered ourselves. We've got another year, and if they're not members of
Yeah.
whatever party, yeah, who are they going to be choosing to represent them? Yeah, because they have to a certain extent
They need to choose someone.
hmm?
They need to choose someone or don't vote, and this is what normally happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
People will abstain.
Yeah, and we get so disillusioned, we don't involve ourselves. And then when it doesn't happen for us, then we start cuss and criticize.
But
Yeah,
you didn't vote.
they didn't vote. Yeah, so like me, I mean, I laugh. They'll cuss me out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I belong somewhere. Whether I belong to UKIP, whether I belong to Christian Party, the Lib Dems, or in this case where I'm back at, I'm at Labour, they'll still cuss me out. But at the same time, they only expect me to be at Labour,
Yeah.
whether it's for them or not for them. They don't expect me to be thinking outside of the box.
So you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to
I'm not allowed to move.
divulge from the box.
No,
You've got to stay
no.
in your
No,
pigeonhole.
because that's where they're at.
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not at that level to keep me there. Yeah, because they're not members. Yeah, so the party now can use and abuse me. Yeah, arrest me in the same way they arrest me out the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to stop that from happening and to enable me to protect them outside, they need to be in the house to keep me in there
Yeah.
to protect them. And they're not seeing the trick.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not seeing the trick. It's not the voting, it's the selecting.
Okay.
Yeah, who you just you choose to cook food and put on your table.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be at that
They need to be.
fundamental
They need to be
point
selecting the right person in the
at
right
that exchange. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? There's no sense you have what do you say a Chinese cooking rice and peas and chicken or jerk and you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They'll lose some of the main ingredients.
A lot of flavour.
Yeah, that which your body is not accustomed to. Yeah, because your food is like your own medicine.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So they lose that connection. Yeah, and also there is an element of spirituality even in food.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? And again, they lose that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, oftentimes, as you look at most of these fast food places, when we go to them, the food that they give to themselves could be poison to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're consuming it. Yeah, not realizing the consequence. Yeah, and this is how fundamental these little things are. Yeah, but the good thing is, I'm in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can afford the cussing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ever so often, me just cuss them back.
You have to.
You understand? And that's why I know when I can't talk too much.
This is it.
Because in truth, I cuss
It's
me,
a
I
time
cuss
and
them.
place.
Yeah, I cuss them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because they leave you out on a limb.
Yeah.
And when a desperate situation arises now, we jump in because we don't want it to embarrass us. Them say, no, who you think he is? Take care of yourself. And them can't do it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, my family.
Yeah. There was one last thing I wanted to mention, which is as a result of all these, advisory boards, etc., I've been speaking to a friend of mine, Michael Dubry. He's an ex Chelsea footballer.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to play for Leeds and even in Scotland
I
as well.
remember. him.
And he's now got an organisation called Made Leaders, and what they do is sort of motivational stuff, leadership, management tools. He does tools for kids as well, like does programs for them. But we were talking about putting together a training program for the police to address their unconscious biasness and also sort of diversity training. So to revamp the whole thing, it's going to obviously take a little bit. It's going to take a buy-in from them, but it'll be going back to the drawing board. Make sure they do like a proper test, etc. And they can't pass it unless they get everything right, basically. Yeah. So the idea is getting actors in and like revamping the whole thing.
I'd love to see Stafford in one of those key positions.
There you go.
I'd love to see Stafford in one of those positions to be the one that's graded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the extent to which things have reached. Yeah, because we're so peed off, fed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of our tether, to the point that we said to us.
This is it.
Enough is enough.
Is enough.
You've had all your chances. You know what I'm saying?
Many years
how
has
much?
it been?
Yeah, how much?
Classford and Stafford have been fighting this thing for how many years?
Yeah, and listen, and now we're at a stage in life now where we're supposed to relax. We're still having to be fighting, so it becomes even more and more frustrating.
It is frustrating.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, But at the same time, we can continue, obviously, to do so, but we still need young bloods.
Young bloods.
Yeah,
is what
because
it's about.
we will support you, young bloods, to make sure that when you go into these institutions, that if there's any problems, we are there to support you. Yeah, so any of these upstart police who think that they can bully you, because we know their history, we know it inside out, we know what they've tried and done before, we're not going to have it.
No.
Yeah, and we're not corrupt within ourselves. We're doing it because we're duty bound to do it. Yeah, we're not like some of us who is chasing the pound.
No.
Yeah, they're doing it for adverse reason, and they're the ones that the system tend to want to work with. Yeah, they're bad example, and like them ones we would get empower on them for like stone them. We're not saying no, we do them any harm. Yeah, but we have to bond them certain things there.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
We're trying to give like real opportunities. That's what
real
the whole-
opportunities, and as that is, it comes to mind about fire the fireman. Oh God, I ain't seen fireman for a long time. Respect fire, but yeah, I hope to make that link. But yeah, I'm really excited. I've been met up with Tasha, I do need to have a proper reasoning with her. I saw her yesterday, but it wasn't in a place that we could obviously have sat down and talk, you know, because we have to be on the cover, you know. But yeah, that is where we are at, you know. So, wow, time is up. Hard to believe, you know what I'm saying?
I've got one last thing to mention, if that's all right.
No, man, it's
Yeah?
yeah. Utilize your time.
Okay. I just wanted to mention there have been some things that we're trying to do for the community to try and, you know, my area is sports, really. So I work with an organisation called needmorefootball.com. But what we're doing is trying to combine sports with sort of education, etc. So we make sort of content around sports and get footballers and everyone else to comment and impart their knowledge as to what it takes to become a footballer or get a job in football if you're not making it on the field, all that kind of stuff, or sports. But so there has been talks with all these police organisations as well, and also the FA, London FA, to put together like events, etc. when we come out of lockdown, where we're going to get some music involved, etc. Get some sports involved. A guy that we're working with has come up with a new format of football, like a smaller format. We're going to try and roll that out at some of the tournaments through the Kickoff at 3 tournaments that you know we went to that time. So we're doing that. Also, one of the neighbourhood police officers, the head of that, is, I think they've been talking to the Broadwater Farm as well, so Classford and Co, about doing an event where a team comes down from somewhere up north, I think, to play against the farm. And then I think the Tottenham Foundation are going to be involved in that. I work for Crystal Palace as a scout, so I'm going to try and get maybe a facility at Palace as well to see if they can get some buy-in. So that's one thing for the kids.
Well, I mean, another good thing is obviously if we can access their facilities to be able to put on events, because that way we can regenerate from amongst ourselves in order to roll things. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we can empower the young people by affording them the opportunity, if they buy into the whole concept, then it means everything is more manageable.
Yes.
Then the police can serve a strategic role, which is security, as well as recruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the two work hand in hand, and it also could have special benefit for the Black Police Association, because that should be our starting point to build up the trust amongst our own people and then our European counterparts to learn by standing by us and making the observation so they can understand the culture, the temperament, as to how to engage.
Exactly, and this is what it's about.
You know what I'm saying? So it can be done in a holistic and subtle way and bring everybody on board so we end up with a more harmonious.
And that's the way it should be, really.
It's the way it should be. It's common sense, but they complicate the thing.
Overcomplicate.
Yeah, they are the ones who
make it hard for
complicate.
us.
Yeah, they complicate the things.
And more often than not, we're the ones that have to come up with the solutions, which is.
It's always the case. It's always the case. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's even like me. Yeah, the expectation is like you're supposed to be speaky, articulate. There's a time for everything.
This is it.
Yeah, there's a time for everything. But one thing you must never do: don't lose your culture and your identity. Yeah, the important thing is that you understand. Yeah, the Europeans, they try to use words that make you not understand, and when you don't understand, it's like they think they've got the upper hand. Yeah, so the key in life is for somebody to understand in order for you to action. Yeah, but for whatever reason, they just don't want you to be able to. That is a trick. They don't want for you to be able to, because they think by you not being able to, it gives them an advantage. That's really ignorance.
This is it. But if you're taking action, that means you got control, and they lose control. So
Yeah, but they don't want that.
Exactly.
They don't
And
want
this is
that.
it.
But that's where
what
the
they
power.
want.
That's where the
This is
real
it.
power is.
Exactly.
You know. Yeah. So is there anything else? Oh yeah, your website, your contact.
Oh yeah, You can contact me at, I think, Need More Footy. So at Need More Footy. That's the Need More Football Instagram handle. And also andrew.boateng@sky.com. Or you can get me at Andy at Need More Football. And we're on Facebook just as Need More Football. So those are the ways you can get us. There's one last thing we're doing, which is a Safe Zones initiative, which I'll have to come back and talk about. It's quite a big project. I'm going to speak to Clive about this a bit more as well.
Okay.
Encompasses a lot of things within the community. So
Okay, well, safety sounds like it's anti-knife and those kind of things.
yeah, it's everything. So it's anti-knife,
Okay.
anti-violence,
Okay.
etc.
Yeah, well, we need to obviously revisit that because it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah, I grew up in a village. Again, I was talking earlier, I've lost my uncle, but he wasn't just my uncle. He was a very prominent person within the community, and I'm sure I left Jamaica at a time when all of the big people could beat every single one of us in the community. You see what I'm saying? So we've lost that pride. We've lost that pride. So yeah. On that note, obviously, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I thank you also for the dedication which you put into the community. Again, I'm pleased and asking of you, don't ease off these police. Don't let them get away with it. Work as best as possible with our African colleagues who are already in those institutions to strengthen them, to exercise and blow the whistle on those who try to keep us in a position that is discriminating and where we suffer the injustice. Okay, and long may it continue that you be strengthened. The year has only just started, but January has already gone.
Too fast. It's fast.
And we weren't doing anything because we're supposed to stand on our yard. So it should have been a very long month.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, it's gone quickly.
Exactly.
To be honest, it's gone by quietly.
Quietly. This is it. Well,
Yeah.
they tried to put things in place slowly.
Yeah,
Now they're starting talking about passports and all sorts.
Yeah, I was in here about 6-7 months ago talking about my biggest fear is not being able to travel because I don't have no intention of taking their injection.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when I revisit what had been said in this chair, it's been a revelation. Yeah, it's been a real revelation, But for whatever reason, we are where we are. Yeah, so we're not gonna go against that. Okay, yeah, so family, yeah, you've had enough of my time. I thank my brother for his presence in the studio. I'm gonna rush off home. Yeah, so it leaves only for me to pay my respect. Firstly to my community back there out there in Jamaica. I wish you guys down there, family, good health, that you avoid this coronavirus. Yeah, up the breeze, continue to blow fast. Yeah, that now I'm not there, no time for stop. Yeah, and to encourage you all to be doing your farming because we're anxiously buying herbal things. Yeah, even the sorrel, me not telling enough, so make sure not always have sorrel dry and thing like that. Everything now is medicine. Cheney root, bitter wood, all sort of thing. One of the thing them depend now is what? Tambran, turmeric. Listen, all sort of bush, everything. Yeah, because none of us over here, the reason why you see we want to be confident in not taking this injection is that we want to put everything that comes from the earth and that the sun is blessed. Yeah, because again, I touched on it briefly. Today, there is genetically modified food, yeah, that don't have no seed. They can't regenerate. Yeah, we're in a time now, even mankind, enough of them out there can't regenerate. Yeah, because our body is mimicking the food that has been introduced into our system. Yeah. So we've lost that sense, that awareness, yeah, because we've conformed. Yeah, the system has subdued us to the point that we don't know our times table, we don't know our friend's phone number, because everything is in the supposedly smart phone. Yeah, so where every instrument around us has become smart, yeah, governments and institutions have taken away our thinking. So we're not allowed to think anymore. Yeah, so the skills that you would have to drive a car, they're saying that you don't need that no more.
Driverless.
Yeah, you're going driverless. You see what I'm
Brainless,
saying?
driverless.
No, so they're gonna, if we follow them, we're gonna be brainless.
They tried to pilot them in America, didn't they? But I think
Listen.
they crashed a few times. So
Listen,
they've gone back to the
listen,
drawing board.
but that's the car.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But people need to see the bigger picture, what they're trying to do to our body. They don't want us to be thinking outside the box. They want to contain us. Yeah? And some of us abysmally are trying to do the same to we, ourselves. Yeah? By trying to contain us, put us in a pigeonhole. Yeah? And trust me, I'm not in favor of that, because as I'm here, you see, I'm telling you, I'm paying my respect to families in Jamaica. My imagination can take me up Cambridge Hill, it can take me anywhere. I could be at Brockway, yeah, I could be at the riverside, just I lay down and I chill. Yeah, you understand? So my mindset can travel. Yeah, so I don't want nobody to suppress that, and I encourage you, obviously, not to do so. Yeah. So yeah. Again, family over there, to Mr. Macpherson, good health. I know that, again, you know, to a certain extent, I was probably even thinking, you know, that within the race, you know, you probably would have beaten my uncle to that final curb, you know, or finishing line, you know what I'm saying? But I must say, my respect to yourselves, and thank you for the time, the effort that you had invested in. We as young pitney to now, we now becoming the elders, you know, and it's me coming to acknowledging my past, where I'm coming from. It's a real eye opener, you know, to be here now with grey beard, yeah, as an elder looking back. And seeing the future, which again is with these young people, if only they come to realize through their own consciousness, you know. So to my community there, Mount Sanya, Landui, Ramble, Islington, back down to Yellas, where I'm presently as well, you know, to all the Lewin families, Ogleaves, boy, there's so many. You know, but nonetheless, the longer you spend in England, the more you forget. So I need to revisit, you know. For those of us over here, obviously, to the Edwards family, Williams family, you know, again, Adams family, you know, over there, Lawrence's, Sterling's, I've made mention earlier, you know, all of us who have you know, have journeyed. You know, ancestral salute to you all, you know. So let me just leave it at that, you know, and find a little tune so that we can wheel out of the studio. Yeah, let me see what number 7 is saying on this side. Yeah. You know, it's been such a joy to always spend a little time, you know.
It's a long time, girl, I've known you, and many good things I have shown you. So you should overstand the man in me. Through all the good times and the bad times, you never played around with my mind. All the blessings we have are plain enough to see. Oh, and if you're far away, I keep thinking, how am I gonna see your face? I got to write myself
letter, yeah, and send it to you right away. I've been calling you on the telephone just to hear your voice. But don't you worry now, girl, cause I'll soon be home and everything will be alright. Pressing on my life, you're a foundation. Are you grow the youth them for the revolution? So respect you. Hey, I love you. And pressing on my life, you're my one and only. No matter what I want, me not gonna leave you lonely. I need you. Hey, it's all about you. Hey, angel, you are so very important. And to me your love is vital. I need your full 100, I don't want a portion. No way. I come and make I give you love and devotion. Always rain or shine, we'll keep it tight. Yes we will. Yeah. It's a long time, girl, I've known you, and many good things I have shown you. So you should overstand the man in me. Through all the good times and the bad times, you never played around with my mind. All the blessings we have are plain enough to see. And if you're far away, I keep thinking, am I gonna see your face? I'm gonna write myself a letter, yeah, and send it to you right away. I've been calling you on the telephone just to hear your voice. So don't you worry now, girl.